Scream 8 just got the green light, so the set is green today, baby. Let's talk a little bit about it.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
I want to be a fighter, like you.
Oh, let it burn! Let it burn!
Did you miss me?
You have to shoot them in the head. They always come back.
The boat can leave now. Tell the crew.
Well, sometimes that is better.
Good luck.
Hey everybody, Killjoy Jake here. We have some super duper exciting updates to get into today, like things that I'm kind of over the moon about. So if you like talking about horror movies, especially the ones that are coming up here in the future, then make sure to like this video and subscribe for more update videos just like this one. Also, please consider supporting the page on Patreon. It is the best way to help keep the lights on around here, and you also get to see the Dexter reaction series uncut. So if that's something you're interested in, well then go check it out down in the comments below. Thank you to all of my Patreon supporters, channel members, everybody who supports the page. You guys rock. Now let's get into the updates. We just got some release dates for two upcoming horror films, two that I'm honestly pretty excited for, and interestingly enough, they're the same date. August 7th is going to be a very busy for us horror movie lovers because we're not only getting Fall 2, the sequel to 2022's Fall, but we're also getting the highly anticipated Eli Roth's Ice Cream Man. A few things to talk about regarding Fall 2 is that it's going to follow the sister of the character of Hunter from the first movie, who ends up kind of getting herself into a similar situation. The plot description reads, overwhelmed by her sister Hunter's death, Jax connects with Lucy, Hunter's fearless friend. To heal, they attempt the infamous plank walk of Mount Kwan in Thailand. After a sudden rock slide leaves them stranded on a fragile plank 3,000 feet in the air, Jax must confront her deepest fears and fight for survival to find closure. It's being written by Michael and Peter Spierig, who also wrote the film Jigsaw from 2018, and a Fall 3 has already been greenlit. Jesus, this is gonna be a whole franchise in a couple of years here. I'm excited for Fall 2, but Ice Cream Man takes priority on this date for me personally. I just love me a good Eli Roth movie, man, and this one looks like it's gonna be disgusting, disturbing, and very brutal. Ice Cream Man follows an idyllic summer town descending into madness when an ice cream man serves kids sweet delights with horrifying results. Based on some of the new marketing from the film, like this still right here, it seems as if these ice cream treats are turning these kids into little devils. The tagline for the film is also, watch out for children. Evil kids, man, it never ceases to not be scary. This will be the next theatrical release from Eli Roth's The Horror Section, which is his own independent studio. They've released a couple films in theaters already, some of which I thought were really interesting. Jimmy and Stiggs and Dream Eater may not have been like 10 out of 10 horror movies, but at the very least, they were super interesting, and I'm so glad I got to see them on the big screen. If it wasn't for this studio, I don't know if they would have made it there. I cannot wait to see what this crazy movie is going to be all about. Bring it on, Eli. 2 years ago, Lionsgate and Blumhouse decided to team up to resurrect some of their old IPs. One of the biggest announcements that came from this time is that they were going to resurrect the Blair Witch Project franchise. The last 2 years have been pretty quiet, you know, outside of the original Blair Witch people saying, hey, what the fuck, why aren't we involved with this? That's a whole can of worms, but now it sounds like we finally have a director for this project that is seemingly moving forward. Third-party source Daniel Rickman says that Dylan Clark, who's already set to make his feature directorial debut over at Universal with Portrait of God, will be directing the fourth Blair Witch Project film. First of all, Dylan Clark is a guy who made a really good short film a couple years ago called Portrait of God. Sam Raimi and Jordan Peele are now working together to bring that to life in a feature film that again will be released through Universal. And now it seems like Blumhouse, one of their subsidiaries, is grabbing Dylan and saying, hey, make the next Blair Witch Project, damn it. I don't think it's gonna be that aggressive though. I'm sure Dylan is super excited to do this project. Considering that he's yet to direct and release a feature though, there must be a lot of good buzz about this dude if he's already getting IP work without even having his first film release yet. This sounds like a really similar situation to the Undertone guy, Ian Tewison. Before Undertone even premiered in theaters, Blumhouse already signed him up to do the next Paranormal Activity. Now they got a similar situation with the next Blair Witch Project film. You got Dylan Clark, another up-and-comer, attached to it. A lot of fresh blood here, a lot of good ideas from Blumhouse in my humble opinion. You guys don't want to believe me, I've been saying this in so many videos, but the Blumhouse Renaissance arc is happening right now before our very eyes. They are making so many good moves, and investing in the future with up-and-coming filmmakers like this is absolutely one of those things. We've been crapping on Blumhouse for the last 5 or 6 years, but I'm telling you, moving forward, they're gonna start being like that, like golden standard of horror again. Y'all laugh now, but just you wait until we see their next couple of films. I'm telling you, we got some good stuff on the horizon from these dudes. I'm super excited for another BWP, which sounds like a gross thing, doesn't it? Abbreviated like that. I'm a weirdo who actually really likes the 2016 Blair Witch Project project movie. I think it's scary as fuck. It's short, sweet, to the point. Adam Wingard directs. It's cool. What will this fourth entry be all about? Well, stay tuned for more updates. We just got a really interesting quote from Anna Faris, who is of course reprising her role as Cindy Campbell in the upcoming Scary Movie 6. During an interview with Variety, Anna Faris was talking a little bit about how Scary Movie 6 came about. She said, in February of 2025, Marlon Wayans called me and he said, "We're getting the gang back together. I couldn't believe it. For this to happen in this way has been euphoric for me. I've been so sentimental." She talks a little bit about this sixth installment too, saying, "I think we succeeded in really blurring the lines and confusing people, especially around Cindy Campbell. That's what I'm hoping for. Let's just say that Cindy Campbell gets a degree of revenge, and that felt incredible." All right, before we go any further, potential Scary Movie 6 spoilers. Now, some people may not care because this isn't like your typical murder mystery flick. This is a very goofy horror comedy, leaning heavy on the comedy, obviously. If you don't care about having Scary Movie 6 spoiled, then go further. Check out the rest of this video, but if not, just skip to the next section. So we've already seen a clip of who is Ghostface this time around from the marketing, and it's of course Shorty and Ray. What I think is happening here, especially based on this quote, is that they're gonna make a joke about how Scream 6 had like a bunch of killers across the entire movie. Like so much of that cast was Ghostface killers. I think the joke here in Scary Movie 6 is that everybody besides Doofy is going to be the Ghostface this time around. Could you imagine if all the cast members run in the room and they're like, "No, it's me. Like what? Fuck you. I'm Ghostface this time. What are you talking about?" It would be pretty funny if Cindy was the one to get in the car and run everybody over at the end too. I'm pretty confident that we're getting something at least similar to this in Scary Movie 6, but I don't know if people really care that much about spoilers for this film opposed to like a Scream movie where like we're super reliant on not knowing who the killers are beforehand in order to preserve the surprise. Scary Movie has always been more about poking fun at these movies and also throwing out a juvenile fart joke out there once or twice along the way. I'm really excited to see how Cindy gets her revenge in this new movie. It ought to be a fun time. Some Resident Evil fans are definitely not going to like this update. Zach Cregger, the director of the next Resident Evil film that releases later on this year on September 18th, was talking with the New York Times about his upcoming film and stated that a lot of fans will likely crucify him for deviating too far from the franchise's lore. He specifically said, "I love the idea of being pitted against a world that is hellbent on annihilating you. It just feels fun, and I haven't seen a movie that offers that sort of experience." Cregger has even said about this movie previously, "I'm definitely not trying to be completely obedient to the lore of the games. I'm trying to tell a story that just feels authentic to the experience you get when you play the games." Oh, I know people hear that, right? And they're just like, "That's not gonna work. That's not Resident Evil, dude. You're just doing your own thing and calling it Resident Evil." But like, isn't that kind of what we want at this point? Look, the last movie that came out in this franchise, Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, was a movie that was so hellbent on telling a story very similar to Resident Evil 2 and maybe even a little bit of the first Resident Evil game, and then people hated it. People were like, "It's too similar to the games. Now we're doing something that kind of deviates from the game's story, but still kind of paying respects to it." And now everybody's like, "Well, now it's not the game at all." Nothing is going to make fans happy, and frankly, if they just made the same movie again, like how they just did back in 2021, I think people would just kind of lose interest, right? You can't make the same movie over and over again and expect different results. I know like the first 6 movies in this franchise are that essentially, but like the last movie we got was something way too close to the games and people didn't love that. This though, I think is still gonna be great because I have so much faith in Zach Cregger. This is the guy that directed Barbarian, this is the guy that directed Weapons. He co-wrote the script with Shay Hatton, who also wrote John Wick's Chapter 3 and 4, crazy action movies, so I believe this movie is gonna be some action horror fun. A popcorn movie with high intensity. I can't complain about that. Hell, it might even be the best live action Resident Evil film from this approach alone. It's got a great cast too. It's actually re-teaming Zach Cregger with Austin Abrams from Weapons. He was amazing in that movie. I can't wait to see him as the star of this flick. I also love to see Zach Cherry a part of the cast. No, not the YouTuber. We're talking about Zach Cherry, the dude from Severance, maybe the most underrated character on that whole damn show. This movie comes out on September 18th. I'm so excited for it, man. Bring it on. We just got a brand new trailer from Lee Cronin's The Mummy, which once again gives me faith that this thing is about to go hard. Lee Cronin's reimagining of The Mummy is about a journalist's young daughter who disappears into the desert without a trace. 8 years later, the broken family is shocked when she is returned to them, as what should be a joyful reunion turns into a living nightmare. The new trailer shows us some gnarly images from this upcoming flick, like Katie eating a scorpion, What the fuck? Characters getting killed in mystical, impossible ways. I'm so excited for this movie, dude. It looks like Evil Dead Mummy. I like Evil Dead. I like Mummy. You slap those things together, go movie. I don't care that this movie is getting a bunch of bad press. It looks fucking awesome. Bring it on, all 2 hours and 17 minutes of it. Is that how long this thing really is? Seriously? Okay, sure. This one's for the weirdos, baby. Count me the fuck in. A pretty shocking announcement about Scream 8, one that has me really excited though, is that we are getting confirmation from Deadline here that the Zuckerman sisters will be writing the next installment in the Scream franchise. So not only has the film finally been greenlit, but also we have a script being worked on actively. If you've been keeping up with a lot of the other Scream updates on this page, we saw a copyright filing for these two working on some sort of Scream 8 script earlier in the week, but it sounded like a bunch of smoke and mirrors to me. It's filed under a bunch of crazy bullshit and whatnot. I don't know what was going on with that, but now it's official. Lila and Nora Zuckerman are probably best known as serving as showrunners for the hit Peacock series Poker Face with Natasha Lyonne, and they've also written for shows like Suits, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Fringe, and Prodigal Son. One of the most interesting things to note about these writers, though, is that they wrote the pilot for what was supposed to be the Buffy revival series called New Sunnydale. Chloe Zhao was involved to direct, and then Hulu just never picked up the series and canceled it. While I can imagine that's super tragic for Buffy fans out there, these two writers are like kind of on a down right now and they need a big win. I can imagine them putting a lot of effort and energy into this script in order to like kind of have that comeback arc essentially. I have so much faith in these two. Like, this is such a unique little story here. I feel like we're in for something really special with Scream 8. No plot details have been announced yet. We don't know who's gonna direct this bad boy, but hopefully we get those updates sometime soon. Another big Scream franchise update is that we've recently talked a bit about how Scream 4 was getting a 4K release. We even got to see the standard issue of it, which looked pretty cool, but like the cover is a floating head poster. I feel like it doesn't really resemble the early 2010s of horror that well, maybe like the 2020s where we have floating head posters for fucking every big release. But now Lionsgate has released images of what the steelbook looks like, which is fucking dope, as well as a VHS tape for the films. This movie, by the way, has never been released on VHS. You can currently pre-order both of these things with the VHS selling out fast, so make sure to pick it up while you can, and it will actually physically release on June 9th of this year. This is the first time that the fourth entry has been officially released in 4K, and that has me so damn excited. This might be my favorite Scream film. Personally, Jill is my favorite killer, and I also think this movie has the best reveal. Sorry, not sorry. I am so excited to pick up the steelbook for this one, and I will also be picking up the steelbook for Scream 7 because I'm a completionist, damn it. I have to admit, the Scream 7 steelbook looks pretty damn cool though. I mean, just look at this thing. It looks great. It's awesome. I'm gonna pick up both of them. You let me know what you guys are gonna get down in the comments below. We have one final secret update to end this video, ladies and gentlemen. I have been waiting to announce this for years, but guys, it's official. We're doing Red Right Hand 2. We're calling it Red Right Hand 2, Jamie's Revenge. Him and Stu team up to go after the survivors of all the other films. I'm totally kidding, April Fools, but I do have a Red Right Hand announcement that I do want to share with you guys. We're currently working on a director's cut of the original film. We're never doing a sequel. Let's just get that out the gate. We're never doing a sequel to this thing. We are, however, going to release a new definitive version of the film that runs a little over an hour now. It's tight, mean, lean, and fucking badass. I've recut the entire film. We're redoing the audio. I'm recoloring shots. It's gonna be fucking epic. Also, there's deleted scenes that have never been seen before that have been placed back into the film. There's also a lot of things that I took out because there's a lot of fluff in that original movie that personally I don't like. I'm George Lucasing my fan film. I hope you guys like it. It'll release sometime later on this year, specifically on the Human Egg Productions page where all of my movies currently live. Check it out when it drops. We'll have a release date sometime soon. What do you guys think about these crazy updates? Oh my God, there was a bunch of them. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.